of the majority party is seeking to have the National Assembly note the Senate amendments to the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, Bill number 24 of the year 2025, that is scheduled for consideration at the National Assembly. After that, the committee of the National Assembly will be converting itself into a committee, popularly known as the Committee of the Whole, where the House will be considering the Senate amendments to the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, this being Bill number 24 of the year 2025. It is a Wednesday afternoon, a day when the National Assembly usually hears from cabinet secretaries appearing before the National Assembly plenary to answer questions that have been directed to various cabinet secretaries from members of parliament. This afternoon, we'll be expecting the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport, who will be responding to a number of questions raised by members of the National Assembly or by a section of members of the National Assembly. The member for Vihiga County, Honorable Beatrice Adagala, will be asking the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport to provide a status of the construction of Shamahoho-Gitambai Road and the steps that are being taken to ensure its completion. Honorable Adagala also wants the CS for Roads, that is Davis Churchill, to clarify whether the contractor responsible for the road project received full payment and whether the due process was followed in the payment process. She also wants to understand whether there are measures that the ministry has taken to address structural defects such as cracks and sliding of grounds along the road, particularly around GACHAGUA, and finally the provision of timelines for the construction of the said road. Honorable Member for Ruiru, Honorable Simon Kingara, will also be asking the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport to explain why the new generation of smart driving license do not indicate the date when the holder first obtained it. The other question is the consideration of integrating the original date of license insurance or the license issuance into the smart driving license, particularly for individuals upgrading from the older versions to support Kenyan drivers abroad who rely on this information to verify their driving experience. On your screens, you can see members of the National Assembly are already upstanding, an indication that the Speaker's procession is making its way into the chambers this afternoon. Already, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Dr. Moses Wetangula, is already in the chambers this afternoon, ready to preside over the business of the National Assembly. So kindly allow me to hand over for this live broadcast, brought to you by the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation in partnership with the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit. Enjoy your viewing.
Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umeteua nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu. Tukusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tunakuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tulikutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Sergeant, ring the quorum bell.
The National Assembly has officially commenced its business this afternoon, and upon the commencement of business, we have the quorum bell ringing, following the directives by the Speaker to ring the quorum bell as provided for in the House Standing Orders number 34 on matters quorum upon the commencement of business. At this particular juncture, the House lacks quorum to continue with the consideration of the business before it, and the quorum bell directive is a leeway for members of the National Assembly who could still be having a break. Remember, the House breaks at 1 p.m. from the morning sitting and resumes at 2:30. So those yet to make their way into the chamber, that a bell is supposed to sort of remind them that the time for the afternoon sitting is already here with the House. As we await for the quorum to be attained at the National Assembly, the member for Kinango, Honorable Ngozi Rai, will be asking the Cabinet Secretary for Transport to state the current condition of the Kinango Mariakani Road C107 and the impact of the recent rains on its deterioration, particularly the drift connecting the road. The CS for Transport will also be required to explain the immediate measures the government is taking to prevent further deterioration of the road and restore its usability for motorists. The other requirement for the Cabinet Secretary this afternoon is that the CS for Transport is required to outline both short-term and long-term interventions, including any interventions that have been placed to do with matters with collaborations with other agencies to provide for a lasting solution.
A prayer is a very solemn moment, whether in parliament or in your bedroom or in your car or in your church or in your mosque. To some of us, we take prayer very serious because it's the single moment you are in communication with your God. Please don't do that again. Please don't do that again. You are guilty by association. Okay, let's have, before we start, honorable members, and that is not only for Honorable Murugara and Mutuza, it's for all of us. We all believe in God. Our constitution started by saying, we respect God of all creation. And that's what we do. And we only take 2 minutes to place ourselves before God before we start our business. You can fight thereafter, it doesn't matter. But we must start by supplicating and surrendering our will to God. Murugara? Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of these three members of Parliament and Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, we profusely apologize that we had some loud consultations as the prayer was going on. It's just an issue that had come in regarding our committee. I don't know why we couldn't withhold ourselves. We apologize for that.
Thank you.
To is human. So we are human beings and we are subject to Ari. Thank you.
I believe that in the face of God, everything can wait. Yes, sir. Go on.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader. Because you are the agent of necessity.
Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Majority Leader, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025, afternoon sitting. 1. Legal notice number 91 of 2025 relating to the county licensing, uniform procedures, regulations 2025, and explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry. 2. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements of Endebess Technical Training Institute for the years ended 30th June 2018, 30th June 2019, 30th June 2020, 30th June 2021, 30th June 2022, 30th June 2023, and 30th June 2024, and the certificates therein. 3. Report of the Auditor General and financial statement of the Total Technical and Vocational College for the year ended 30th June 2021 and the certificate therein. 4. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2023 and certificates therein in respect of 1. Borabu Technical Training Institute, 2. Emurua Tigir Technical Training Institute, and 3. Kitutu Masaba Technical and Vocational College. 5. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the years ended 30th June 2023 and 30th June 2024 and certificates therein in respect of 1. Emining Technical Training Institute, 2. Current Training Institute for the Deaf, and 3. Lunga Lunga Technical and Vocational College. 6. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the years ended 30th June 2024 and certificates therein in respect of 1. Kiambu High School, 2. Loreto Kiambu Girls High School, 3. Moi Girls School, Nairobi, 4. Muranga High School, 5. Our Lady Consolata Mugoiri Girls High School, 6. St. Anne Secondary School, Lioki, 7. St. Barbara Tala Girls High School, 8. St. Josephine Pakita Masinga Girls High School, and 9. Thika High School. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, can I confirm from majority leadership if the Minister for Roads is coming? I'm told he's already here. So members with questions to the Minister for Roads, be ready, we'll get to that. Let's deal with the statements. Gonzirai. Before that, Gonzirai, hold your horses. Allow me to acknowledge in the speaker's gallery Koibeyon Secondary School from Bomet, East Bomet, Ngumari Secondary School from South Imenti, Meru. In the public gallery, we have Emambarashai School from Kajiado, East Kajiado, Mutira Primary School from Kirinyaga, Central Kirinyaga, Elster Mixed Secondary School from Dagoretti North, Nairobi, and Kids Palace Shalom from Dagoretti South, Nairobi. I have been requested by the member for Dagoretti North to welcome the students from her constituency. She can do it on behalf of all of us.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to welcome all the students to the August House and to appreciate that today we have a Wednesday sitting, and to tell them that in this house, each one of us has a story. But that story has ensured that we've worked hard to arrive to where we are. I want to thank Alistair. I know we have fantastic stars there who want to be journalists, and I could see their videos. But also to tell all of you that in anything we do, the first thing we appreciate is respect. And when you earn respect, people will respect you. And so we have very simple values that all of us learned in school. One of the values was to say sorry. The other value was to say thank you. The other value was to appreciate even our parents. So I want you, as you continue with your education, always appreciate your teachers and parents. They are their first call to ensure in life you will be who you want to be. And anything is possible for you in life. If you decide to be the President of the Republic of Kenya, it is possible. It is for you to decide. If you want to also fail in life, it will happen. It is up to you. So as my students and my children, today I want to wish you well and to thank all your teachers and to pray that those who are in Form 4, we wish you well. We want you to pass. We want you to come to campus. We want you one day to come and serve Kenyans the way we are serving. God bless you, and I wish you well as you go back. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. You're gone half a minute. I thought I had asked Elijah to speak for all of you, but take half a minute.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for also giving me this opportunity. And I would also like to take this chance to welcome all the students into this August house. The students from Kaipeon Secondary School, you are most welcome. And as been said by my colleague, Honorable Elijah, that we wish you well in life. And I would like to say that to all the students, let this be a learning process for you, and know that the sky is the limit. You might find yourself in the near future in this August house, and even in other high offices of this country. I want to say you are most welcome, and welcome once more again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Dagoretti South KJ, half a minute.
Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to welcome all the learners from all the schools who are here, and in a special way also welcome Kids Palace from the Dagoretti South constituency. And Mr. Speaker, I have one word for these learners. It is to tell them that by the time you get to be of age to come to Parliament, the world will have changed drastically. One of the things that is going to change the world is technology. The computers are learning at a pace that humans are not learning at. So you must find that one thing that you will be better at than the computers. The computers will compute, so you have to take the time you have in school to understand that you need to become more human as computers become more computers. How do you do that? Don't come out of school before you have mastered critical thinking. Get yourself to know logic and problem solving. Get some emotional intelligence and empathy, and be patriotic. Those 4 soft issues are the things that computers will never beat you at, because the only thing computers will never beat you at is being human. But if you do not become human, know that the computers will computerize you more than the way you shall humanize the computers. Welcome to the August House. This is where the decisions are made in this country, and we exist for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. That is to solve all the problems that pertains to our people. Thank you very much.
Try.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I request for a statement regarding the disappearance of Mr. Charo Mai Karisa. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44 into brackets 2 into bracket C, I rise to seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the disappearance of Mr. Charo Mae Karisa. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Charo Mae Karisa of ID number 2308474 is a resident of Samburu Kibaoni, area in Kinango constituency, Kwale County, and worked as a mechanic in Malindi, Kilifi County. On 16th of July 2024, as he was traveling from Mombasa to Malindi, he was abducted by unknown individuals alleged attached to the National Intelligence Service. It is also alleged that the abduction of Mr. Charo Karisa Mae may be linked to a case in which he was implicated in the killing of a security officer at his place of work. Efforts by the family of Mr. Karisa Mae to establish his whereabouts have been futile. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following: a report on the investigations into the disappearance of Mr. Charo Mae Karisa, including any indication of whether any security agents are holding him, and B, the steps taken by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration to prevent enforced disappearances and guarantee the rights of arrested persons as invest under Article 50 of the Constitution. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, Administration and Security. Tongoyo, when can you bring a response?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We're able to give the response in 2 weeks.
No.
Honorable Speaker.
A Kenyan has disappeared without a trace.
It's true.
I give you 1 week. At least
most obliged,
some
Honorable Speaker.
Information.
Well, okay, most obliged, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, yes. I just want to, you are indulgent. The Honorable members alluded that forced disappearance. And I think we should be more responsible enough not to make conclusion before even investigation or a response is even issued.
Your answer will reverse the allegation.
Okay.
Yes.
Most guided.
Yes. So you can bring a response next Wednesday afternoon. Honorable members, as honorable members, as you are aware, in the last 1 week, we've lost 2 former members of this House, the Honorable Phoebe Asio and the Honorable Catherine Mora Nyamato. The members of the constituencies where the late colleagues hail from, Honorable Okwome and Honorable Steve Mogaka, have requested for an opportunity to make statements pursuant to those dates. So I'll give them to make the statements. Thereafter, I'll give the House 10 minutes. Yes, Honorable Otienda Mola.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to bring to your attention, and I brought to the attention of the clerk, that there's also a former member who actually served with you, the first member of Parliament of Rarieda, who also died last week, the Honorable Bob Jalango Nyanduga.
Bob Jalango died?
Yes, he died.
I wasn't aware.
4 days ago.
Yes.
And so I was requesting that as you give the other members, you also do include him in that list. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So you start.
Very well.
2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we lost the Honorable Bob Jalango Nyanduga, who was the first member of Parliament of Rarieda. Bob Jalango Nyanduga served for 1 term. But after that was one term. And I'm not speaking of any other term. I'm speaking of the term of the Honorable Bob Jalango Nyanduga. But Mr. Speaker, as has become of many members who served for only one term, he was not well endowed and he actually suffered. And it is actually a case for why we as members of parliament should actually invest in what we started the other time in terms of, post-service endowment. The Honorable Bob Jalango Nyanduga hailed from Rarieda in a place called Asembo. He was also the brother of another member who served here, the Honorable Grace Ogot. In his time, he laid the foundation that subsequent members then continued. Because after him, the Honorable Achieng' Oneko also served. After that, who also passed. After that, the Honorable Den Ngure, who also passed. After that, the Honorable Raphael Tuju, who is alive. And after that, the Honorable Nicholas Gumbo, who is alive. And then yours truly has taken over. And I do not intend to leave that seat anytime soon. So this should also serve as a notice for those who think that they want to come to this August House, that Otiende Molo is not leaving anytime soon. Mr. Speaker, we need to honor these members because to serve as a member of parliament is a sacrifice that most people don't understand. You sacrifice your family, you sacrifice your money, you sacrifice the pleasures of life to serve your people. And the only thing we can do to those fallen members who are now deserted is at least to acknowledge them and honor them. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mogaka Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to make a statement on the first woman from Gusii community to ever step in this parliament. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 259D2B, I rise to pay tribute to the former nominated member of parliament, the late Honorable Catherine Muranyamato, better known as Ekerebi, who passed away on the 16th of July, the year of the Lord 2025. Mr. Speaker, the late Honorable Catherine Muranyamato, who was born on the 28th of February 1949, joined politics in 1997 as a nominated member through the then ruling party KANU, Baba na Mama, and where she served diligently until 2002. During her tenure in parliament, she was a fearless advocate for gender equality, civic education, and women's rights champion. She also campaigned relentlessly against early marriages, female FGM, and low literacy among the girls. The late Honorable Catherine Nyamato continued to advance women's rights beyond politics as the Secretary General of the League of Kenya Women's Voters Caucus, where she was instrumental in the establishment of civic forums for women's political participation. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Catherine Nyamato was born at Nyabite Market, where I was also born, and she's my cousin, as well as cousin to the most flamboyant member of parliament from West Mogrango, the late Honorable George Justus Morara, who died in a suspicious road accident. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Nyamato's contribution to the nation will forever be cherished. On my own behalf and the people of West Mogrango constituency, I wish to take this opportunity to condole with her family, relatives, friends, and the people of Kenya at large for losing such a dedicated woman leader. May her soul rest in eternal peace. And thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to give this tribute to this gallant woman leader. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Kwame Okwame.
Pioneer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to make a statement on the demise of the late former Member of Parliament for Karachuonyo, Honorable Phoebe Moga Asio. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 259 2 and B, I rise to pay tribute to the former Member of Parliament for Karachuonyo, the late Phoebe Moga Asio, who passed away on 17th July 2025. Honorable Speaker, the late Honorable Phoebe Moga Asio, who was born on 12th September 1932, began her career as a teacher after completing her studies. She then became the first female senior superintendent of prisons in 1963, where she spearheaded various rehabilitation programs. The late Honorable Asio, her passionate advocacy for women's rights enabled her to rise through the ranks and become the first African woman to chair the Maendeleo ya Wanawake organization in 1958. Mama Asio was a pioneer and trailblazer who, being the first senior superintendent of Kenya prisons, the first woman elder among the Luo elders, the first Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations Development Fund for Women, and Commissioner in the Constitution of Kenya Review Commission. She received honorary doctorates from Lehi and York University, and the government of Kenya recognized her with an Order of the Grand Warrior, that is OGW. Honorable Speaker, the late Honorable Asio later ventured into politics in 1979 when she vied for and was elected as the Member of Parliament for Karachuonyo constituency and served until 1983. She served her second term of Parliament from 1992 to 1997. The late Honorable Asio was instrumental in pushing for gender reforms, including affirmative action that sought to address domestic violence, widow disinheritance, electoral violence against women, child marriage, and female genital mutilation. In 1997, she introduced a motion on affirmative action, which was prompted by the exclusion of women from Kenya politics. She is hailed for being the originator of the two-gender principle that was later anchored in the 2010 Constitution. Honorable Speaker, her contribution to the women and the nation at large will forever be cherished. I wish to take this opportunity on my own behalf and on behalf of my constituents to condole with the family of the late Honorable Asio, her family, relatives, friends, and the people of Kenya at large. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Okwame. Honorable members, I'll give 10 minutes to this, and whoever I give, 1 minute. Mother Wangari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity, and I also join honorable members in eulogizing these great members, former members of this House, and specifically Honorable Catherine Nyamato and Honorable Phoebe Asio, who have been trailblazers in the fight for women in this House. In fact, Mr. Speaker, were it not for these successes, some of us would not be here as the beneficiaries of affirmative action and people who have set the pace. And coming from the area where Honorable Catherine Nyamato came from, in fact, I think she's the only woman, apart from the affirmative action seats, to ever sit in this House. This area, Mr. Speaker, doesn't really elect women in this House, so I think she started a good fight. But Mr. Speaker, specifically Honorable Phoebe Asio, she is a trailblazer, Mr. Speaker. She was a UNIFEM ambassador. She was, Mr. Speaker, actually elevated to be an elder in the Luo community because of the work she had done, Mr. Speaker. But more importantly, she was the original chair of Maendeleo ya Wanawake that has really fought and set the pace in the country. And Mr. Speaker, it is sad that we have lost her, but the benefits will be seen from now going forward, and we hope.
Thank you. Mawade. There is also a man on the list, Bob Jalango.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to join other members in eulogizing these heroines that served in this House, and especially a person that I knew very well. I met her, Honorable Phoebe Asio. Under the leadership of Honorable Joe Akech, we, the football team of Umeme FC, went to play in Kinube when Honorable Phoebe Asio was campaigning for a second term. She was a strong leader. We would adore her, watching her on TV, and the many positive things she brought and continued to fight. Every time she would speak, she would always talk about the need to have additional or many female leaders.
Meli Odhiambo. Okay. You have 1 minute and it's ticking.
Can I have 2 minutes, please? 2.
1.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, even though you are only giving me 1 minute, because in this House, I think the person who knows the first 2 members very well is myself.
Not more than me.
I know more than you. Mr. Speaker, I knew Phoebe Asio. That's why I was saying 1 minute is too short for me. I've known Phoebe Asio since I was 11 years old. She persuaded me to join politics through her own life when I watched her when she was actually going through campaigns, and she won by a landslide. But Mr. Speaker, because of a short time I've been given, she is actually like a second mother to me. Honorable Nyamato is a very good friend to me. I have even visited them at their rural homes, slept in their homes. So there are people who are very, very well known to me. And Mr. Speaker, I just want to say that Honorable Phoebe Asio is the reason that we have most of the women here, especially on the issue of affirmative action.
Yes, Osoro. Avoid any preliminaries.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. With, of course, the pressure to speak. Within 1 minute, I also want to join my colleagues in condoling with the families of the Honorable Phoebe Asio and the Honorable Catherine Nyamato. Honorable Speaker, Nyamato remained a pillar in the Gusii community. As a pioneer female member of parliament in this House, Honorable Speaker, she remained to be a role model to the girl child, traversing across the entire Gusii region, Honorable Speaker, motivating ladies to try elective seats or leadership skills, Honorable Speaker. So Gusii nation has lost a very strong woman, and may her soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Bensouda, 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to eulogize with the family of Honorable the late Mama Phoebe Asio Muga. On behalf of Homa Bay County, she is my mother, and so I come from Karachuonyo constituency where I'm married. I would want to register in this house that the late Honorable Mama Phoebe Asio Muga told me that it was time to resign as the CEC for roads in Kisumu County and come back home and work. Honorable Speaker, she directed me to be mentored by Honorable Whip Millie Odhiambo. Millie Odhiambo had to travel from Nairobi to come and meet me, to sit me down for 3 hours. Honorable Speaker, Mama Phoebe Asio is a trailblazer. She is a woman of action. She has tactful strategies of politics. She knows the power of the wooden stake, and she knows the...
Sabina Chege. I can say how Millie taught you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to join my colleagues in giving the condolences to the families of departed honorable members. Mr. Speaker, I had met Honorable Phoebe Asio, and I want to join the other ladies to say she set the pace for us. I'd want to say, Honorable Speaker, the honors is on us who are now the women members of Parliament to make sure, as Honorable Millie had to travel all the way to Homa Bay to mentor a lady, that the honors are on us now. Those ladies have done their work. It is upon us to make sure that we inspire, and we also mentor as many many of them as possible, so that they follow the steps. One day we'll be gone, and we'll also need more ladies. I look forward for a day where the 2/3, the men will look for it, and not the women. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, we give to... I'll give to Julius Olesunguli.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to also join in condoling upon the death of Honorable Phoebe Asio and Honorable Catherine Nyamato, and also Bob Jalango. The first two were well known to me. They were members of my party, KANU. They were nurtured by the party, and they were part of the history of both KANU and Kenya. In particular, the Honorable Phoebe Asio was a model for many of the people in Kenya who wanted to aspire to ethical leadership. She was a strong debater in this house, and I still recall how she used to do it from that side of the government. Honorable Nyamato was equally a member of our party. She was, we were together, we served together in Parliament, and I wish her a good rest.
Omongina.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity so that I can also condole with the departed. Honorable Speaker, I come from Nyamira, where Honorable Nyamato was born, where she was married. And Honorable Speaker, I want to tell the world that Honorable Nyamato was like a Dorica of the Bible. When she died, most of the women that she had mentored, they came carrying whatever that Nyamato had given. And I want to tell this house that we have lost a woman that we will never get in Kisiland. And you know, from Kisi, it is very hard for women to be elected. But when she came to this house, she showed the world that the women of Kisi can work. The women of Kisi can fight. And she was fighting for the girl child. And
Zamzam.
Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kutoa rambirambi zangu kwa familia ya mwenda zake Phyllis Asio. Alikuwa ni mama ambaye alitupa sisi kina mama wote Kenya nzima nguvu ya kuweza kusonga mbele kama kina mama. Na leo tuko katika bunge hili, leo tunajivunia kwa sababu ya yale matunda ambayo Mama Phoebe aliweza kuyapanda, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi natoa pole zangu kwa familia, na Mwenyezi Mungu aweze kumuhifadhi na wema, na anapokwenda ajue zile mbegu alizopanda bado ziko katika Wakenya na mioyo ya kina mama wa taifa hili. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me pass. Thank you for the opportunity
to pass my condolences on behalf of myself, the people of Seme, my family, for the 3 members. But I think as a house, we have to think the number of deaths that we are experiencing. I was able to meet Honorable Nyamato, and I was actually a pediatrician in Kisii, and I knew her commitment to public service. Bob Jalango was actually a trailblazer when the constituency started, and also in the diplomatic circles. You must have known that with him. For Honorable Phoebe Asio, what I remember most about her is the issue of the girl child and the gender issues. I think her leadership in the girl child has been so successful that now we are also asking, what about the boy child? And we have to actually look at the boy child in remembrance of Asio. No.
Members will end here. We'll end here. Jen Kiara.
Thank you very much for this minute. Mr. Speaker, I know these 2 women. I wish to eulogize with their families. I was with Phoebe Asio in Maendeleo Wanawake. She's a trailblazer. When Maendeleo Wanawake was really working and helping women, I have met her this year. I was with Honorable Nyamato in Kenya. She was the women leader. At some stage, I thought she was going to get that seat because she really worked hard. So the 2 of them, I worked with them. I knew all of them. Honorable Phoebe Asio was in our many forums as a mentor, as a guest speaker, women forums. She had done a lot of work for the women of this country, and we ask God to rest them in his peace in heaven. God bless you.
I want to close here, you good ladies. I know some of you didn't even know the women who were eulogizing. Chair Kewopa.
Thank you very much, Mr.
After you, will close with Rueda.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, Rueda, and then the lady from Nyamira.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to eulogize the fallen heroes and also Phoebe Asio, who actually laid the foundation for the 2/3 gender rule, which actually remains central in our ongoing pursuits. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of KEWOPA, all the women of Kenya, I want to pass our sincere condolences to the family, and we pray that may their souls rest in peace. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Rueda.
Asante Bwana Speaker. Nami nichukue nafasi hii kwa niaba yangu mimi, familia yangu na watu wangu wa Lamu Mashariki, tutoe rambirambi zetu kwa mashujaa wetu wa kike. Zaidi nitoe rambirambi kwa Phoebe Asio, tutamkumbuka kwa maendeleo ya wanawake. Tunamjua alikuwa ni yuko mbele kwa haki za binadamu, zaidi kwa haki za kina mama. Na matokeo yake yameonekana. Sisi kina mama tutamkumbuka tena, kina mama hata mashinani wanamkumbuka kwa maendeleo ya wanawake. Ilishika sana na hata saulika kwa hayo, na kama sisi wengine tulipopata affirmative kuingia hapa kama women rep, ni juhudi zake na zitazaa matunda. Hata kama yeye atakuwa uko mbele za Mwenyezi Mungu, sisi huku inshallah tutaendeleza yale alikuwa mazuri akiyafanya. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to give my tribute to the 3 honorable members, Catherine Nyamato, Phoebe Asio, and Bob Jalango. But Honorable Speaker, more specifically for Catherine Nyamato, I'd just like to salute her because Catherine was the first woman nominated from Bogichora ward in West Mogirango. I am the second one from the same ward and the same constituency. But other than that, Catherine was a mentor to most of us. She gave us a lot of wisdom, and she also guided us in our political journey. And also to the Honorable Phoebe Asio, who was a trailblazer and who also really helped and held the hand of so many women. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, to those amazing women, and for their sake, we will ensure that we continue with this fantastic job that they've given us. May their souls rest in peace. I thank you.
Thank you. On Osero, you are the very last.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for being the very last. For the avoidance of doubt, Mr. Speaker, I would like to inform the House that after Catherine Nyamato's nomination as a woman, the second woman is only one Renee who is seated here. And I would like to inform the House that the burial will be conducted in Borabu on the 8th. That is my constituency. She was born and raised in Honorable Steve Mogaka's constituency, but she has been living in Borabu, and that is where she'll be interred. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. Yours truly here served with all the 3 deceased members. Nobody mentioned that the late Phoebe Asio, nobody mentioned that the late Phoebe Asio shook the country by defeating the dreaded Okiki Amayo at the time she stood to come to this parliament. Order, Millie. I gave you time. You had too many preliminaries and you couldn't make your point. Honorable members, I'll now ask all of us, including the students in the gallery, to be upstanding to observe a minute's silence in honor of our 3 departed colleagues, Bob Chalango, Phoebe Asio Muga, and Catherine Mora Nyamato. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Amen. Unfortunately, Millie, they are all from Nyanza. You may wish to know that when the terrorists hit Garissa University, I buried 9 students from my count of Bungoma in one day. So the French say, c'est la vie. Honorable members, we'll now go to order number 7, questions. Majority Leader, Minister is in the House. We'll now start with the questions. The questioner, 1 supplementary, 2 joy riders. Beatrice Adagala. Minister, answers must be concise and precise so that we can save on time. But before Adagala, you ask your question, let's just acknowledge the presence of students in the House. In the Speaker's Gallery, St. Faustin Kerogo from Kirinyaga County, Kirinyaga. Ya Girls High School from Central, they don't indicate the Public Gallery. We have St. Peter's Girls from Molo, Nakuru. New Kihumbuini Junior School from Westlands, Nairobi. MCK Kibuka Primary from Tharaka Nithi. And Golden Garden School from Juja in Kiambu. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House. Adagala.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I want to ask question number 013/2025. Could the Cabinet Secretary provide the status of construction of Shamahoho, Gisambai Road, and the steps being taken to ensure its completion? 2, clarify whether the contractor responsible for the road project received full payment and whether due process was followed in the payment process. 3, outline the measures taken by the ministry to address structural defects such as cracks, sliding grounds along the road, particularly around Kisigwa area. Lastly, provide the timelines for construction of the said road. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, members of this Honorable House. Good afternoon. Let me very quickly respond to Mheshimiwa's question regarding this Kisambai Hamisi Senende Shamagoko Road junction project, which I wish to state that it is currently 95.4% complete, with 13.7 kilometers of the project road upgraded to pavement standard to date. The bridge along the road spanning 12 meters is also complete, Honorable Speaker, with backfilling in place. I wish to confirm that works have fully resumed and are ongoing at the project following the recent 40% payments of the amounts previously owed to the contractors in what has for a long time been known as pending bills in the road sector. And this has enabled the full resumptions of work. Let me state that the contractor has to date been paid a total of 698,388,457 of the total 827,470,454 certified for payment. This constitutes 8.9% payment, the most recent being the 40%, which is 105,440,875, paid as part of the recent settlement of the pending bills in April 2025. So we still owe this contractor some money. There was a pending bill of about 262 million. The ministry would like to assure the House that all payments for roads works at the project have been done procedurally as per the provisions of the contract and in keeping with the requirements of the law. On the third concern, we are aware, Mheshimiwa, Honorable House, that some section of the road between kilometer 5 plus 300 meters and 420 meters in Kisigwa experienced a slight landslide on a section of the drains due to heavy downpour in the region. Consequently, the contractor has been instructed to undertake necessary remedial measures and is currently on site mobilizing materials and machines to that effect, given the fact that the contractor has resumed since we paid the pending bills. It is envisaged, honorable members, that the completion will be by end of August due to the ongoing rains, April and May rains, which delayed the contractor to immediately resume work and hampered the progress of work. I submit. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, Adagala, you are satisfied? If you are, you save time, we go to the next.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think most of the areas have been covered very well by the CS, and I wish just to still talk about the Kisigwa area. The place is delicate. There are seminal landslides, and even around Muzazi, there is also another landslide taking place. The road is also getting spoiled. And even if you come to past Jepsesi on your way to Amisi, that hill also needs to be taken care of. But I want to thank the CS for the good response. And even I was there over the weekend. The bridge is being constructed. The contractor is on the road, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you.
Remember, if the question is satisfied, why do you want to joyride? Go ahead and joyride. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this joyriding opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I'm sure the minister, when he was preparing for this question, he looked around the area. That's Vihiga County, basically. And at the same time, when this road was came into construction. There are 3 other roads around the area, which I would wish he speaks about if he is able to. And nothing is happening to them. There's the Maseno Kombewa Road, there's the Chavakali Regi Road, there's the Luanda Epanga Mbale Road, and then there's the Sirulo Ekwanda, he knows them very well, and finally, there's the Mago Museno Road. But specifically, it's the one of Maseno Kombewa, which has remained an ISO, Honorable Speaker, that it was only made on the Luo side, and then left. The other side of Western, nothing has been done for the last more than 15 years. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes.
There is no area in your neighborhood called Luo side.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I believe you mean Siaya side.
I mean Siaya side. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't want to destroy my question. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, yes, Zamzam.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi naweza kujoyride nimuulize waziri. Kuna barabara ambayo imekuwa tata sana ndani ya Mombasa, hata hawa wabunge wakija kwa kamati, katika kamati zao wameona, yaitwa Links Road. Mheshimiwa Waziri, mikakati gani umeweka kuhakikisha kuwa ile Links Road imetengezwa? Manake hata pale pale kumetokea ajali, mwanamke mmoja na tuktuk akadungwa macho, hivi tunavyosema yuko hospitali hana jicho moja, kwa sababu ile barabara iko mbaya sana. Na kisha ile ya Mwakirunge toka mlivyoacha kujenga paka sasa haiendelezi. Tutataka kujua muna mikakati gani ya kumaliza pia ile ya kwenda Mwakirunge. Asante sana Mheshimiwa.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker. Let me specifically answer. I may not have the full information on all the roads, but particularly on Maseno, Kombewa, we have addressed that road and provided resources so that we can complete the link on the Vihiga side. And I don't have the details, but I do know we did provide for budgetary allocation in the current financial year, and the Maseno Kombewa on the Vihiga side will be constructed starting this financial year. Let me beg to basically meet the member and deal with the other specific roads, Milemba and the Luanda side in more details. As regarding the road, Links Road in Mombasa, I think this is the road that basically goes through Nyali, and we have a challenge of drainage after construction happened on both sides of the road, and it is a very low section, and when it rains, we don't have a channel to basically drain out the water. I was in Mombasa some 3-4 weeks ago, and I did pay attention meeting the governor for Mombasa, Abdul Swamad, and we discussed this. We are looking and working with the landowners within that section to see how to open a channel and be able to drain that low section, so that it's a challenge. It should have been within the county planning, but since that was not done, we'll work on remedial measures with Kura, with the county government, and correct that challenge within this high residential area in Nyali Road, Nyali Estate. I thank you.
Simon Kingara. Simon Kingara. Member for Ruiru. Is in the house. Question dropped. Mary Emase. I have been approached by the Honorable Oku Kaunya that he has got a holding brief for Mary Emase. Go ahead and ask the question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will ask the question on behalf of Honorable Mary Emase of Teso South regarding a road. Honorable Speaker, because she is away and she asked me to ask on her behalf. But Honorable Speaker, also the road touches on both Teso North and Teso South. The question to the Minister, question number 15, 2025, by the member for Teso South, Honorable Mary Emase. First, indicate what the when the Busia Malaba Road, which is dilapidated state, is expected to be maintained and upgraded to bitumen standards. Number 2, outline measures in place by the ministry to ensure that major highways, such as that Busia Malaba Road, is continually maintained. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker. Honorable members, the Busia Malaba Road was constructed to a double seal service dressing standard and open to traffic sometimes in 2021. And having been constructed using a stage construction contract, additional pavement layers were planned, but unfortunately, due to budgetary constraint, the additional layers have not been done. Kenya has since been carrying out maintenance activities, including performance-based maintenance contract between November 2021 and November 2023, routine maintenance contract between February 2024 and the same period in 2025, February 2025. Currently, the agency is procuring a routine maintenance contract for its maintenance for this financial year 25-26. In the strategic plan, honorable members, for the period 2023-27, the ministry through Kenya has committed to ensuring that more than 80% of the national paved roads, including Busia Malaba, are maintained in good condition to ensure the road network maintains its functionality and durability. And to achieve this, honorable members, the agency has programmed maintenance works annually for this road, given the significance of the road being part of within the northern transport corridor that services the landlocked countries that we service through the port of Mombasa. I submit, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Oku Kaunya, the first shot goes to the questioner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the CS has tried to answer the question, though he did not explain those additional layers, when are they going to be implemented. And Mr. Speaker, I also wanted to tell the CS that actually that road has caused a number of accidents, that people have lost lives because of the big potholes on that road. So the maintenance of 2024 referred to in the response does not seem to match what is on the ground. And I would ask that a further verification by the minister, the CS, or your team could be able to give more details on what is actually happening on the ground. So there is that bit, Honorable Speaker, that is not reflected in the response. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Webuye West, Dan Wanyama. Yes,
Thank you.
Dan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me joyride on this question and ask the CS on the Sikata, Nalondo, Bokoli, Kimilili Road. The contractor was on site up to Hachonge and it disappeared. Since then, the road from now Hachonge to Kimilili, it is totally impassable. If the CS can highlight on the situation, given that he was mentioning about paying the bending bills.
Yes, Martin Owino.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the same note, I would like to ask the CS whether you have any standard measures which the contractors are using to maintain these roads. Because if you take, for example, a road from Katito, Homa Bay, and Rongo, some spots are dug even 6 inches deep. So the intention is good to repair them, but they are left for almost a week there. Cars, busting tires, accidents. So is there any standard measure that all these contractors should use where they intend to do good and cause harm to the motorists? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Taitumu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to ask the Minister whether he is aware, despite having signed MOUs with the constructors, of the roads that I have stored, Kaelo, Kamukunji, Mutuati Road. The contractor is not yet on the road. I would like to know the measures that we are taking to make sure that that contractor is back on site to do what he is required to do on that particular road.
Oundo.
Speaker, thank you. I just wanted to add on the same issue of the roads, and this specifically the Busia-Kisumu road. Could the Cabinet Secretary tell us when they are going to do repairs? Because the potholes on that road is just a dead trap, and we are going to lose very many lives soon. Consider the trailers and everything. And of course, you could also tell the nation what plans do they have to congest the Busia border point because of the long line of trailers full of fuel. In the event of an accident, it's a catastrophe waiting to happen. Thank you.
Waziri, take a few of those short ones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would want to ask the Cabinet Secretary if he's aware of Chesoi, Tirap, and Embobut Road in Marakwet East, Mr. Speaker, whose contractor disappeared from the site almost 3 years ago, and up to now, they have not resumed. Mr. Speaker, number two, I would want...
A joyrider has no right to do questions. Yes, Melin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The CS knows about the Mbita Sindo Road, which I ask all the time that he comes here. But today my question, Mr. Speaker, is regarding Rusinga Ring Road that is currently being tarmacked. And there are 3 contractors. How do you ensure that they maintain uniformity? Because you can see each of the contractors is coming. Some are doing very good work, including the offsides, I don't know what they are called, those arms. They're doing very good work, but others are just concentrating on the main. How do you ensure that that is done? Mr. Speaker, but I've mentioned Sindombita, which I always mention for him.
Yes. Murugara, then the Minister, you answer those.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary is aware of the famous, it's now famous, Chakariga Marimanti Road. Commenced 11 years ago, stored for those 11 years, and recently, Honorable Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary promised that a contractor would be going on site immediately. It's about 4 months now, and there are no signs whatsoever that any contractor is coming back. The people of Tharaka would like to hear from you candidly. When is the contractor coming back to complete that road? Thank you.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker, for those supplementary questions. Let me start from Kaunga's question is regarding the standards basically used to maintain some of these roads on performance-based contract. And I think it was basically a comment to urge us to get down to the ground with our regional engineers and confirm that they do perform in line with the contract. And the point has been made. I'm here with my PS engineer, Joseph Mbugwa, and we will basically get down to confirm and assure that the details and aspects of the contract are adhered to in the maintenance, because when we do a performance-based maintenance contract, we will specify the works program in the particular road, including what exactly must be done. So we should be able to supervise and make sure that the contract is performed accordingly. With respect to the Dan Wanyama's question, Webuye, Shikata, Kimilili, I think it is about the same standard measures that we employ to maintain these roads. But allow me, Speaker, to basically, because a lot of questions from...
No, his question was that the road was done halfway, the contractor left, you announced that contractors were going back to abandoned sites and they have seen none. I think that was your question.
That's correct, Speaker. And I was just going to say most of the question is regarding resumption of works by contractors. The question from Dan Wanyama, the question from Taitimu is regarding Kaelo, Kamkunji, and the question from, was that Oundo? That was congestion. But more importantly, Millie Odhiambo's question on Bito Sindo and of course Rusinga Ring Road. Let me, honorable members, allow me to basically, we've scheduled a meeting with the contractors on Tuesday. Bwana PS will be addressing all the contractors who have since received 40% payment on pending bills. We are preparing to pay the second portion of 40% from the portion of 7 shillings we sold on that asset-based fundraising. And before we paid them, we did sign a settlement agreement, which among us, one of the conditions was resumption of work to qualify for the second tranche of payments. So we'll be receiving reports for when they resumed, how much work has been done, and so on and so forth. But granted, there can be, you see, when we paid in April, it was a rainy season, and it's been a bit difficult for a number of contractors to resume in some of the very wet areas. But we are on top of this to the extent that we have had liquidity to pay these contractors. We can now call the shots. The biggest challenge previously has been they abandoned work and just left us because we owed the money. But because we've paid them and we have the second tranche of payment to pay them, we will be receiving reports from all the contractors countersigned by our regional engineers on when do they resume, how much work have they done to be able to qualify for the second tranche of payments. So to the extent that we have the cash to pay them, we will then be more hard, we'll be calling the shots. But even having said that, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a lot of work has resumed across the country. The few contractors who may have tried to play smart, taken the payment and not gone to work, will be able to catch up with them because we are yet to pay the next 40% settlement on the pending bills. So let me assure members, where contractors have not fully resumed, or where they have resumed and they are still servicing equipment, there's been no much work done on the ground, that we will be addressing those issues on a road-by-road basis when we meet them on Tuesday. And Speaker, I just chose to basically give a general answer because we've called all the contractors and we'll be doing that on Tuesday to the extent that we are now calling the shots because we are able to pay them. Previously, the biggest challenge, contractors abandoned work and just left us. So the challenge of those potholes and the non-motorable roads, we were just in a state of desperation because we were unable to get the contractors to work. The more specific one on Rusinga Ring Road with 3 contractors, the point has been made. We will basically assure ourselves with the contractors through the regional engineers that we do maintain the standards by the 3 contractors so that we have a seamless connectivity from the 3 contractors on this ring road in Rusinga. With respect to Chagarika Marimanti Road, again, like I said, Murugara, the contractors have been paid 40%, and we paid all of them 40%. So there will be no reason why one contractor or several contractors, 90% of the contractors have resumed work and they are working well. Why would one contractor be dragging is a case that is easy for us to be able to address. And therefore, when we meet these contractors on Tuesday, we'll single out some of these roads that honorable members have mentioned, including Chagarika Marimanti Road, which In spite of the payment, the honorable member is basically giving us report. And we appreciate these report, members, because you are on the ground across the 290 constituencies, and you help us to basically give us the report like I've had. And therefore, I'll be using some of this to pin down some of these contractors ahead of processing the second payment. That includes Bowen's question on Chesoi, Tirop, and all the other questions regarding resumption. I think we're in a very good place today, honorable members, as regarding really taking a hard stand on contractors who had abandoned work, because as we speak today, we have paid them and we are ready to pay the second tranche to be able to push them to deliver on their contracts. Thank you, Speaker.
Minister, you say you'll meet the contractors on Tuesday.
Next week.
Members, just take your seat, because each one of you has a story to tell about contractors who left the scene have never come back. If he is meeting the contractors on Tuesday, all of you send your roads where the contractors have not resumed to my office. I do a composite letter for you to the minister, so that when he meets them on Tuesday, he is able to address each and every road that we have identified as stalled and no work resumed after 40% payment before the next 40% payment. Does that help us? Yes, Majority Leader?
Honorable Speaker, that guidance is good, and I think it will help members. But at a more general perspective, Honorable Speaker, and I hear what the CS is saying, he's speaking about contractors. But Honorable Speaker, it is my view or my opinion that the problem is not necessarily with just contractors, but also liturgy within the Ministry of Roads and Infrastructure, and especially the implementing agencies. I know the CS, you now have new leadership both at Kera and Kenha. And I must commend the actions that were taken in those two state departments, because there was overwhelming liturgy and almost sabotage of work on the roads sector, Honorable Speaker. And therefore wanted to hear from the CS, as much as you point fingers at contractors, these contractors are business people. They are there to make a profit, and they will have no loss if they are paid. They mobilize a bit of infrastructure on the ground without work being done, and wait for the next certificate, to issue the next certificate after doing a bit of work. But what will the CS do to ensure that the liturgy we have seen in the state departments for roads, especially the implementing agencies, Honorable Speaker, is also dealt with at the ministerial level? A policy direction on your acting director generals at Kenha, Kera, and the substantive Director General at Kura, to make sure that they are taking personal responsibility to ensure that work is ongoing. Because CS, it cannot be you and the PS supervising contractors. Yet you have Director Generals, you have regional managers, both for Kera and Kenha, and Kura, they are engineers. Honorable Speaker, I had a meeting with the CS earlier on other issues, and I was just pointing to him. This morning I came from my constituency to actually do the day-to-day supervision of works. For a small road, I think 500 meters being done by Kura, the officer who was sent there by the DG Kura had no idea where the road is. In fact, I left Kikuyu this morning, this lunch, Honorable Speaker, without having seen that officer, because he could not even trace where the road is. But that is a person who is charged with supervising that work, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, I want to hear what the CS has to say about liturgy within the State Department, because that is a fact that we cannot run away from. These members, Honorable Speaker, have a personal touch to these roads, because they involve their members, the members of the public that they represent. And they are the ones who take the flak. Therefore, CS, if you need help from members of parliament to supervise these engineers for you, please ask us to help you. We will help you to supervise these engineers, because some just don't do nothing on the ground. Mambo kwa ground, Honorable Speaker, as I say, need different, as they say. And therefore, I want to beg you that as much as you be convening contractors, the most critical people to convene are your state department officers not to be lethargic with their work. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Jane Kiara, you had a point of order.
Yes, I had, Mr. Speaker, because we were made to believe that these officers resigned. Actually, they were not pushed out. This government is telling lies all the time.
Order, you are out of order. And irrelevant, to say the least. Yes, Sabina Chege.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine, I just want to echo what the leader of majority has said, and I want to request the CS, Mr. Speaker. We have the famous Mau Mau roads. Mr. Speaker, some of the roads, the way they were done, there are only small sections that are remaining so that you can connect and the road is finalized. But you find the engineers and the people responsible, they will start another road, and then the other road is so impassable, and only a small section is remaining. I want to give him an example of a road called Karinga, Kagondo, Kenyona in my Kigumo constituency. And just a small section, there is a road from Mununga going all the way to Kenyona. But a very small section, Gituamba to the junction of Kenyona, very few kilometers, Mr. Speaker, they were left. And so the road is impassable, there is tarmac halfway, and then the other side there is tarmac, and somewhere in between, people cannot be able to access to proper transportation, especially now that it's raining. So, Mr. Speaker, I just want to encourage the CS and the PS. Let your officers be on the ground, let them advise you. Look at the low-lying fruits. If the money is not enough, look at the small sections that can be able to join and complete one road. It's better one road that is complete instead of several that are incomplete. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister, those are largely comments.
Thank you, Speaker, and I'm encouraged. I'm very encouraged that the mood of the House is in line with how we would like the ministry to run. To a very good extent, we have removed the challenge of contractors giving us excuses of non-payments. And this is why we now zero in, and like I said, I'm encouraged to hear the mood of the House on ourselves as a ministry with the agencies. We did have a meeting with all the regional engineers for both Kera, Kena, and Kura on Friday last week, a day-long meeting to basically script what I'm hearing from the House with respect to performance. And you do know, honorable members, it is no secret that in the last survey of corruption index, my ministry was rated the most corrupt ministry, followed by the others who have been dealing.
You have overtaken the police.
We have overtaken the police. So we talked to that. We need to address and get value for our money to ensure that we don't get a situation where we are building a kilometer of road for 3 times the price. And when you go to the ground, the 3 times price does not even deliver what is meant to be built for 1 kilometer. So we've addressed this, honorable members, and to a very good extent, we have got good workers within the ministry, within the agencies, and a few elements who do not quickly reform, like I've heard from the mood of the House. It means I will have an easy job in dealing with those few cases. With respect to, so thank you, Honorable Anthony Ichungwa, Majority Leader. We will work tirelessly to correct the situation. It is not going to be about the contractors giving us excuses as we speak. When we meet them on Tuesday, it will not be excuses. We'll be expecting a countersigned report between the contractor and the regional engineers, and the countersigned by the agency DGs on the status of every road that has been paid for and whether resumption has happened, if it has not happened, and to a very good extent, the few elements who do not quickly style up, we will be taking unprecedented corrective measures to ensure that these roads, and we do know how close roads is to members of this House, and this is why we have the kind of challenges we are having even with RMLF on, is RMLF working for us? And even as we talk about amending that section 6 of KRB Act, we do know you are very passionate about roads, and I want to assure you members, I'm going to lead from the front. Regarding Mau Mau roads, I do agree. We had so many tributaries in Mauma roads. We provided funding, and I want to assure this House, through the question asked by Honorable Sabina Chege, that we've paid attention, and I'll pay more attention to ensure that these commitments which have been made are delivered before we basically do other service roads along the main artery. So let me basically just end again by saying I'm encouraged by the mood of the House, and with the contractor payments having been made, like I've said, without the risk of repeating myself, we will work on the agency to make sure our staff do what they are employed to do. I thank you.
Phyllis Barto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could the Cabinet Secretary, one, explain why, despite the completion of their designs, construction on the Tachasis, Chebiemit, Ainet, Chebarus, and Riadha roads have not commenced? Two, outline the main causes of these delays and provide the current plans, milestones, and timelines for initiating and completing these critical road projects. Three, indicate what measures will be put in place to address the concerns of Moiben residents for whom these roads are vital to connectivity, economic growth, and overall regional development. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.
Thank you again, Speaker. Thank you, honorable members. I wish to confirm that to Professor that Tachasis, Chebiemit, you're pronouncing better than me, Speaker, Chebiemit and Riadha Road have been designed, as articulated by the honorable member, as part of the road sector proactive forward planning in preparation for construction to pitment standard. The 24-kilometer road, which traverses Wasingishu and Elgeyo Marakwet counties, is a critical link road whose upgrading to pitment standard has been delayed because of funding constraints. But I do remember this road has been really doing the circles to be able to do that linkage, and therefore we'll work on prioritizing to make sure that funding is made available soonest. As mentioned, honorable members, the construction of this Tachasis Chebiemit road has delayed, like I said, due to funding challenges. And I want to confirm that we'll work with the leadership from the area. Prof, I'll work with you very closely to prioritize its construction and make sure that funding is made available. The designs propose a phased approach to be able to mitigate the funding challenge, where we will seek to do the first phase with maybe even 5 kilometers